Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Couz's Corner, your go-to college sports channel with a heavy dose of West Virginia Mountaineers. I appreciate you tuning in today and hanging out on Couz's Corner. Before I get into today's topic, which is Couz's top 12, as it should be, I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Donald Shoho. I appreciate your support, Donald. And I want to ask that those of you who haven't, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like my videos, please hit that like button. Doing both of those things really help me out. And please comment below. Let me know your thoughts on my top 12. The top 12 I'm going to do today is, I put it together based on what these teams have done on the field. This is, if the college football playoff is expanded and started today, these are the 12 teams I put in. Obviously, we don't have conference champions yet, so I'm basing it strictly on what they've done the first 3 weeks of the season. Number 1, Alabama. Until somebody proves that they're better than Alabama, I'm still putting them at number 1. Georgia 2. I almost put Georgia at 1, but I felt like their offense, the way their offense has struggled, I don't think they deserve to be number 1. But man, their defense looks awesome. Maybe the best in the country. Number 3, Oregon. Their big win over Ohio State might be the biggest win of the season. And I almost put them number 1, but because they only beat Fresno State by a touchdown at home, I kept them at number 3. Now here's where my list differs from the AP poll from 4 on. I put Iowa up at 4 in place of Oklahoma because I think Iowa has looked more impressive. They have a good win against Iowa State at Ames, and Ames is a tough place to play. So I bumped them up to 4. Number 5, Penn State. I've got Penn State higher on the list. That win against Auburn is a good win. Penn State looks like a good football team. And I think they've also looked better than Oklahoma. Number 6, BYU, Brigham Young. Brigham Young, is, to my knowledge, is the only team in the country that is undefeated and has beat 3 Power 5 schools. So I think they deserve to be much higher than where the AP has them, which is 15th. Just for watching, I'm giving you a free subscription to Couz's Corner. All you gotta do is hit that red subscribe button underneath the video. Remember, it's free, so don't miss out. Number 7, Michigan State. Michigan State has 2 road wins against Power 5 opponents. So that's why gave them a slight edge over Michigan. Michigan has only 1 Power 5 win, but they've dominated in all 3 of their games this year. Next is Cincinnati. Cincinnati's looked good. Other than the game against Indiana this past weekend, they've looked pretty dominant. And they came from a 14-point deficit to beat Indiana, which is a Power 5 team on the road. Arkansas, that big win over Texas to me was a statement win. Arkansas's, I think, got a good football team this year. We'll find out how good they are when they play Texas A&M this weekend. But I think Arkansas deserves to be ranked number 10. Number 11, this is where I have Oklahoma. Oklahoma's still undefeated, so I felt like they should still be in the poll. But they've not looked good in their wins. They have only 1 Power 5 win, and it's against Nebraska, who's not very good. They only beat them by 7 points, 23-16. And number 12, this was a hard one. Ohio State. I almost had left Ohio State and Oklahoma both out of the poll, but I feel like they're still both good enough to be in it. Ohio State has, even though they did lose that game to Oregon, they do have a win over Minnesota, who I think is a good football team. And they still only have the 1 loss, and I still think until somebody else in the Big Ten knocks them off, Ohio State's still in the hunt for a national title, and I still have them at number 12. The teams that were close to getting in but didn't make it for me, Texas A&M. Yes, Texas A&M's undefeated, but man, they barely beat Colorado 10-7. And Colorado is a bad football team, so I don't think Texas A&M deserves to be in. Fresno State. Fresno State looks pretty good. The only loss they have is to Oregon, and it was at Autzen Stadium. But they're still on the outside looking in for me. Notre Dame. I've been saying this every week. Notre Dame is, in my opinion, overrated. They've not looked that impressive in any of their wins. They did beat Purdue this past weekend, I think by a couple scores. But, going and taking overtime to beat a low Florida State team and then barely beating Toledo at home, they're not in my opinion. And then Clemson. We all know what Clemson has struggled this year offensively. They are having trouble scoring the football, and they just don't look like the same Clemson team. Their defense still looks good, but man, their offense just is struggling to score. And I wouldn't be surprised if Clemson doesn't make the playoffs this year. I don't think this is Clemson's year. So that's my top 12 and the teams what I'll call honorable mentions. Please let me know what you think. What teams do you think should be in? What do you think about this list? Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? Once again, if you haven't, please subscribe. Smash that like button if you like this video. Share, let your friends and family know about Couz's Corner, especially if they're WVU fans. And until next time, peace out.